Hey everybody, just want to share a quick little insight from my City General Conference this morning. While I was on my run, I was listening to the October 1932 General Conference, and Richard R. Lyman of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles delivered one of the most stark warnings I've ever heard. He starts off his conference talk by saying that what we are facing as America is a greater threat than what we faced in the trenches of France. Now remember, this is right after World War I has ended. And he's saying what we are facing is worse than World War I. And then he punctuates the middle of his talk by repeating that warning, saying it's worse than what we've had to deal with in World War I. And then he concludes his talk by saying this is worse than World War I. So what was it that he was so adamantly trying to emphasize of this is a huge issue you need to listen and understand? Two things. First, he talked about prohibition. He talked about the fact that the Constitution was under threat and attacked by the parties of the country, and that they were seeking to try to remove prohibition and to try to get an alcohol, which was a poison, into the hands once again of people. And he talked about the fact that that was evil. But more than prohibition, he goes on to talk about a larger issue. And the issue he's seen was the fact that we were witnessing lawlessness at every level of our society. And that people were no longer committing crimes who were degenerates or lowlifes or vagabonds, but it was the middle and upper class that had started to commit crimes. It was crimes that were being supported by judges, by juries, by prosecutors, by politicians. And he goes, this will be the death of the republic. We cannot sustain our society if we have lawlessness at all levels of our society. And I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, if that's an issue worse than World War I, then we are in crisis mode right now, because look around. I mean, they just barely had somebody who had ran over and killed someone in Colorado, who the prosecutor let off. They're like, oh, well, they're not here legally, so we're going to go ahead and let them off. And then the government's like, they just killed someone. You can't just let them off because what? And we have issues, whether they're legal or illegal, doesn't really matter. You look at the BLM riots, look at all these other things. We have so many people who've committed so many crimes who prosecutors just decide, hey, I am above the law. I'm going to just do whatever I want. I'm not going to press charges. Oh, that person who just vandalized a Tesla, hey, you know what? We're going to let them off with a community service rather than make them pay the price of their crime, because the law doesn't apply. We have criminals at every level. And he warns, Richard R. Lyman, the apostle, warns that when we reach a point where even the judges are corrupt, that is a warning that the republic is a danger. And I'm like, yep, 2025, spot on message, repeatable today.